Welcome to the Wild Protea once again. I have been away. It's my first video since lockdown. For the longest time, during lockdown, I've been sort of racking my brain in terms of creative content, trying to bring you guys creative content, not just what everyone else is doing. And like I got a bit down. Obviously there's no sport on, there's no South African sport obviously, which I love, so there was nothing to give you guys updates on. Also I thought, but reading through Twitter, Facebook and going through social media, I see guys are making Dream 11s, making up squads. There's the captaincy that needs to be decided. So I decided that I needed to soldier on and keep trying to get everyone to buy into the concept of a fan channel, to try and get people to use one sphere for grievances, for disagreements, for agreements, for just anything regarding South African sport. Without further ado, I'm going to be speaking on just a little bit of the cricket situation, a little bit of the Kolpak situation that they're trying to currently sort out. So before I get into that, guys, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy it. So the Kolpak agreement is obviously something that's been talked about a lot over the last few months, especially the last couple of weeks, with Graham Smith coming out and saying that they're trying to sort that situation out, and the players will be welcomed back. Now, just looking at the players who have signed Kolpak, let's just go through that list quickly. Simon Harmer, Dane Villas, Johan Myburg, Morne Morkel, Huddersfield, Darren Smith, Bryden Carlser, Colin Ingram, Marchant de Lange, Graham van Buren, Colin Ackerman, Cam Dalport, Rory Kleinveld, Richard Levy and Stian van Sail. I think Hashim Amla is also in the mix there somewhere, but obviously Hashim is retired, so that doesn't really help us much. And the first thing I noticed going down, and obviously Carl Abbott's supposed to be there as well, I'm not quite sure why he's not, but anyway, look, going down the list, I don't see names. There's no names there that jump out at me that potentially could play for South Africa in any format tomorrow. Maybe the one, maybe Simon Harmer. You could throw his name in the hat. But having said that, Keshav Maharaj is doing a fantastic job. Now, I have questioned Keshav, but since I actually have started questioning him, I've actually looked into his stats and his bowling figures and that, and it's quite a few guys have mentioned on Twitter as well that during his stint in the Protea side, our batting has struggled tremendously, and that could be another reason why he hasn't probably done as well as he might have, even though he's done exceptionally well, taking 100 test wickets. Runs on the board for a spinner is important. Just looking at the list, no one really jumps out at me, and for Graham to be saying, we want these guys back to help out the national team, I'm not sure that's the way to go about it. I think maybe having them back in the setup, provincially, I think that'll do a lot of good, because there are some quality guys in there, guys like Marchant de Lange, Colin Ingram, Colin Ackerman as well, I rate really highly. Rory Kleinveld obviously now retired from his domestic duties. Stian van Sail, I mean, these are guys that are Morne Morkel, Huddersfield. These are guys that are, Dane Villas as well, are well experienced, and I think that they can help the youngsters out a lot. In terms of they've all played for the Proteas and they can all add value their know-how and that sort of thing. It's just a difficult situation because, you know, most of them now are in that latter stage of their career and they're looking to obviously set themselves up for the future. So to make as much money as possible, and the money is just not in South African cricket at the moment. So it's a tough one. But, you know, I for one wouldn't be too worried about them, you know, potentially coming straight into a Protea setup, just because I think the setup we've got at the moment is good enough. If you look at the guys coming through in the system, I believe they are good enough to help the Proteas get back to where they're supposed to be. It's just a question of, you know, are these guys going to be willing to go back in the setup? And, you know, the short answer is they're going to have to be, because I know there's talk of increasing the number of overseas players in England, and that could be a situation that they might want to explore, but I don't think that'll happen, because then, you know, the English will be kind of shooting themselves in the foot there, so I don't think that'll happen. So only guys with sort of ancestral visas and stuff will be able to still play in England and make a living. So my view on the whole Kolpak situation is I think it's a good thing these guys are coming back. I think they can add value to our domestic scene, you know, especially the 4-day and the 4-day and the 50 over competition. Obviously now the Mzansi Super League has been extended as well, expanded, sorry, 2 more teams added. I think, and the rights now, viewing rights have now been bought by SuperSport as well. Remember, those rights have not been bought for the last 2 years, and that's why they were broadcast on SABC. I just hope that if the SABC will still have some agreement with SuperSport to air some of the games, because I think that's a vital part of growing the game is having it free to air. You know, for a lot of people to watch. Otherwise, how are you going to grow the game, guys? Especially if you're going to make an expansion, you're going to get more. If you're going to get more international players now, with it being on SuperSport, you've got to have SABC getting not just highlights, but getting some live games as well, because you know, we want to grow the game and we want to, you know, we want to reach as many people as we can. So I think that's going to be important. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But yeah, as far as the Kolpak thing goes, I think it's a good thing that these guys come back. I don't think it's a good thing that if they're going to come back and step straight into the team. Having said that, I don't see many of them stepping straight back into the team anyway. So I think we should just be mindful of that situation. Yeah, that is pretty much all I've got for you guys today. Short little video. I'm gonna keep posting now every week with regards to South African sport, and you know, when Super Rugby might start again, what's happening with the cricket situation, when we're gonna get underway with that. Obviously we're all still on lockdown now, and I will be trying to get as much content as possible. Yeah, so thanks for joining me again, guys. Don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and get comments in below, guys. I would love to hear from you guys. If there's anything you want to talk about, you know, Dream 11s, you know, some past things you might want to talk about, past test series. I know they're playing a lot of that stuff now on SuperSport. Like the other day, I was watching the match when they played in India of Dale Steyn's career best figures, and I watched literally all of the game except for day 3 where he took 7 for 51. Dear SuperSport, please play that part. That was the only reason why I watched. But anyway, yeah, that's just my little grievance there with SuperSport. So join me again next week, guys, and I'll try and get more content for you guys to watch. Have a fantastic day. Don't forget to stay safe out there, guys. If you are going out, wear a mask, be safe, you know, use the social distancing guidelines. We are all in this together, and we all will come out the other end, and hopefully we'll get sport up and running again as soon as possible. Yeah, cheers, guys. Have a fantastic day.